Thank you, Chair Wagner, and to our witnesses for being here today. And I want to start off a discussion and a reminder of all the great work Chair Wagner did to secure a bipartisan win for investors in the INVEST Act. The House overwhelmingly passed INVEST last year to strengthen our capital markets, lower the cost of companies seeking to go public, and increase investment access and choice for Americans saving for retirement. And I urge my colleagues in the Senate to take up that vital legislation. Mr. Quadman, beginning with you, why is it so important to get INVEST over the finish line?
The INVEST Act has, several different components to it, but one, obviously, it deals with a lot of the issues that will allow for a growing public capital market, but more importantly, it also provides for different investor opportunities as well. So as an example, one of the bills that you have, Mr. Lucas, along with Mr. Gottheimer, on 403B reforms that would allow for teachers and firemen and nurses to have the benefit of CITs is a very common sense, important evolution that would allow those investors to get the same benefits as 401k investors. So I think it's a simple thing where getting the INVEST Act passed would help with that.
Ms. Johnson, do you want to add any thoughts to that? And I wouldn't mind you touching on the 403Bs too.
Yes, we're also in favor of that. I think it's very positive that non-for-profit workers can participate in CITs. They tend to be a lower cost way of participating in retirement plans. And basically, the only difference is just a different governance structure of a board of directors for mutual funds versus a trustee for CITs. That, from a practical standpoint, it's basically the same. So we're in favor.
Taking a broader view, Mr. Patak, what are the investing trends the SEC should be mindful of as Chairman Atkin continues to improve the regulatory environment left by the previous administration?
Thank you for the question. I would say there are three things that ought to remain a focus. The first is preserving and strengthening disclosures. In a sense, this is the language of investors. It's how they identify risks and compare and contrast different investment opportunities available to them. The second is maintaining a level playing field when it comes to disclosing fees. As I talked about earlier, one of the best predictors of future outcomes is fees, and so the better they can identify and compare fees, the likelier they are to put themselves in a position to succeed. Thirdly, supporting innovation that would continue to contribute to the growth of low-cost vehicles. Again, we have seen that investors succeed more often with lower-cost products than a higher cost, and so innovations in that direction would be welcome.
Ms. Johnson, what are the existing regulatory barriers that cause inefficiencies for actively managed investment strategies?
Well, one of them would be mandating that investors in things such as Trump accounts only can invest in passive. That would further exacerbate the problems that have been described on the panel this morning, where markets lose the ability to have price discovery and such. So I think the best thing that the administration and Congress and regulatory agencies can do is to make sure that the playing field is level between active and passive and that investors have choice.
Mr. Ringenberg, can you expand on your testimony? What are the distinct roles both active and passive investing play in the safety and depth of our capital markets? And why do we need to ensure Americans continue to have abundant choices when looking to secure their financial future?
Both active and passive funds play distinct and important roles in the economy. As Ms. Johnson said, active funds are crucial to price discovery, and in this sense, they have a private incentive to provide a public good. And the rest of us all benefit when active funds do that job. Similarly, passive funds play an important role. They help investors access returns at low cost. And so all of these things work together to make capital markets succeed.
Thank you very much. And with that, Madam Chair, I'll yield back the balance of my time.